Okay, so it started with me. Yes, I was a normal person. I don't really feel like talking about when I was born. Nothing bad happened, it's just, don't really feel like it. But I'm going to talk about the more important parts of my life. This is Ayim, as you know. This is Sterlicion, and this is GOBB, which you probably hate. But he's not so evil. But we'll get to that later. So this was their lab. Ayim and Sterlicion were great friends. We were also some other friends. So they made their own lab. They paid a lot of money to make this, and it was very good. Yes, this was before it got possessed by the void. But that's going to be a couple, but currently, in this time period, that's going to be a couple years away. So this is their lab, and they decided to show me their Perminat and GOBB asset. And this was it. Nobody was in the capsules, but they were showing, but they did find a dead lizard, and they decided to show you how it works. So they put it inside, and well, basically, they both had their own laptops, and well, they could actually get them out, and then they could connect them to the capsules. Like for an example, they can connect them and it'll tell you information about the exact lizard. It's very cool and very interesting, and I honestly thought it was really cool. Now I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna tell you what they actually say. Wow, that's amazing, Sterlicion. Amazing. Yeah, it's cool. It's alright. Why do you sometimes feel so down, GOBB? It's fine, nothing. But there is one thing. It's not fully built. Well, actually, it is kind of fully built. But I'm going to show you guys the other rooms. Now, these are the other rooms. This is normally the kind of room where I mostly study about these creatures. It's really cool. Wow, this is really unique. And GOBB, well, he kind of liked it too. Well, it's alright, I guess. I wish I could have my own place like this. And what would it be about? Studying evil stuff? What's up with you evil stuff? You're not evil. What? No, I'm not. Yeah, of course not. I'm kidding on. I'm just interested in it. And well, everything was going good. The years went by, we studied on creatures until one day. Not a bad day though, but it was unexpected. Oh, well, I mean, at this part, me and GOBB were just working and experimenting until we heard something going on downstairs, but we decided to keep working. Now I'm going to show you what was going on. Believe it or not, they actually saw Harry's parents coming with some weird looking dudes we've never seen before. And he just gave them to us and said he was evil. And well, yes, I thought he was just a weird dude until he bit my face and it started bleeding. So I quickly grabbed him and put him inside of here. And then he went to sleep. Well, not right away, but he tried to escape real quick. He tried to escape, but then he immediately got knocked out. And while he was sleeping for about 14 years. Yes, 14 years. Oh, my face. Are you okay? Back to where we were. Anyways, and until one day, we heard some news that this little kid's facility was being built, but they were building it near our lab. Wait, what? This was never part of the lab. This was not part of the lab. Yeah, you might want to back up, guys. But sorry, but we might gonna have to start building your lab. What? Are you kidding? We don't want them connecting. Meanwhile, his lab was still. It was still gonna be okay. There was like another door that led up to the surface. But in this part right here that we were at, we were gonna start building here until they started building here, even though we were gonna start building in the first place. Sorry, but we'll stop building here if you pay a bill. Fine. And well, we did say that it's okay anyways, because we could build other way But then this guy said this. Sorry, but you can't really build anywhere. House facility is going to be one of the biggest places on Earth. Is this a joke? Who even is he? Oh, he's just a little kid. But I'm gonna get out of here. Man. And then after that, GOBB, he just faded away. We thought he was just sitting down somewhere relaxing, but we actually never saw him again. Yes, it was actually a long time. And well, I'm gonna show you about 1 year later. Okay, so Stelician said he had to announce some news with his laptop. We just thought it was about his experimenting, but it was about something else, about GOBB. And well, this was it. Harry and Friends News, it's me, Harry. Wait, what? A little kid is doing his own news? Bro, like, on the laptop? Yeah, don't ask. Attention. Bitter Bfdi has finally been found after going missing a year ago. And while he found his own base, and while he's starting to plan some evil stuff. Wait, what? Evil stuff? Yes, he's planning evil stuff. But why is he doing this? Listen, Perminat, please just leave. But what? You can't just... He's my friend. I mean, no, you're just gonna have to leave, okay, dude? Wait, but what? Just leave. And while I was confused why they were telling me to leave, but I started realizing GOBB was not such a good person. Well, nobody knows about his childhood that much, because it was hidden away. But that's a mystery for another day. Stelician, is this necessary? Yes, it's necessary, we just had to. I think this lab should just be on our own now that GOBB is gone. Perminat can go do his thing. Wait, he was just worried about him. He's still friends. Yes, he's still friends, but I don't feel like him coming here. This lab should just be private. And yeah, this lab should just be our own private thing. So yeah. Sorry about that. I was going to the elevator until I saw GOBB. Heh, Perminat, long time no seen. It's good to see you, Ow! Well, believe it or not, I'm planning of infecting one of Harry's friends. What? Like who? Soapy! Why? He's such a good friend. Wait. Oh no. You know how since you learned with you're not an exact scientist like Stelician and and I'm not an exact scientist too, but you still remember some stuff. And well, you're taking some of their information and you're studying it. But okay, what am I talking about? They never talked about infecting creatures. Yeah, I learned this all myself, and I found the right ingredients, and there won't be a cure to it. And I think I'm gonna summon some things called the soapy ones. The soapy ones? What? GOBB, you've gone insane since the last time I saw you. Yeah. Oh, listen, GOBB, please. Ow! What? We're no longer friends. I've got my own life now. I realized being friends with you guys was wrong. And he just went on the elevator. And that was it. Until one of the characters called Bitter Hungry came, and he was like, dude, are you okay? No, not really. And well, yeah. And well, Harry never knew. There were some characters like Bitter Hungry was a part of the facility, but the characters like GOBB, Stelician, Perminat, Bitter Lovely, Coley, Dodie, he never really knew about them. So they were called the forgotten characters. Well, actually, Dodie, I don't know what I'm talking about. He got Dodie when he was about 6. But he kind of regretted it because Dodie hates everything. But blah, blah, blah. And well, he just went away knowing that I was doing good. Until I went on the elevator. Until this happened. The elevator broke. And it broke so much to the point it fell through I fell through the floor. And I was in the deep parts of Harry's facility. And then I was stuck down there for a couple of years. how many years? About 4 years. Yeah, it sucked. And boom. I was knocked out for quite a couple of hours until I woke up. I was confused of where I was. I was stuck here. I never thought it was, well, it was a big deal since I was extremely injured. But I never thought it was a big deal, but little did I know I was stuck in a maze. I was stuck here for 4 years. And you may wonder, how did I survive without food and water? Well, there was some really good chumpy biscuits around that somehow aren't out of date. But yeah, but I was confused of which way to go. But one day, I found this. And until that day, I saw this. A purple orb. I was terrified. I was scared. But I touched it. It disappeared. But then, I realized I could fly. No way. I can fly? This is amazing. Until I stopped flying and kind of hurt my ankles. And I couldn't fly. And that's until I realized something. I saw a piece of paper on the ground. And well, it said, do not touch this orb. It can make you fly. It may be overpowered. This orb has been hidden. Although it's not the most powerful superpower, but it's still been hidden. You can use it every hour. So I realized I could use it every hour. But I kept forgetting that I even had this ability. That's the reason why most of the episodes I don't use it. Well, actually, I've never actually used it in any of the episodes. And well, I also realized something. I also saw something very strange in this room. And that's when I realized something. I saw a broken laptop. It wasn't fully broken, so it had the news on and saying that GOBB's infected Mr. Soapy and has soapy ones. So I immediately threw it across the room and tried to find a way out of here. And well, people completely forgot that I existed, which, well, they didn't really. But Harry did. And well, because they didn't know a lot about me. And I tried breaking myself in because the door was locked. And well, yes, I was stuck. Until one day, just a couple more years later. And well, I was stuck in that room for, well, yeah, a couple of years. But there was choppy biscuits. And you may wonder, how have I not gone insane? Well, I think that orb also made me very confident. So I was very patient. I just waited until my luck came. It was them, Nabigal and Harry. Yes, Harry still looked like this at the time. But Nabigal finally realized that this was better Perminat, and he had no idea what he was talking about. Then he remembered, and he apologized to us, saying that we forgot him. And I was like, oh, it's okay. But how did you guys get here? It's like a maze down here. Well, believe it or not, there was actually an elevator somewhere, but it had a bunch of rubble. But we managed to get it out of the way by using a very strong weapon. And I found something that could make me fly. I can only do it for a couple of seconds. Like there, I can. Wait, that's really cool. I can use it once a day. So yeah. And yeah, and yes, I had a plan of flying to the abyss, but I wouldn't have enough time. And well, I couldn't really find any abyss for some reason because I was stuck in this room. So yeah. Well, I was stuck down here for quite a long time. The elevator broke, so that's why the elevator was broken. Ah. And well, yes, I think we might need you. Soapy Wars. Soapy Wars? What's... Oh yeah, I saw some weird computer. You need to come help us with it. And that's how I managed to get brought back up to the surface. And then I became really good friends. And I was extremely happy to see them, and they were extremely happy too. And well, then I met the other characters, Bitter Lovely, Bitter Hungry, and yeah, and I met everyone else. And well, you may ask, when did this take place? What year? Well, this was in about 2019 or 2020. I can't exactly remember. But yeah, so that proves that Soapy Wars was on for a long time. So yeah, that's how I was brought into the world. Well, I never told you about how I was born, but I did tell you a lot about me and why I went missing. Oh, and one last thing, when I was freed, I also went to check Starlichen and Aim's lab. I thought it was going to look the same, but I was completely wrong. Because they told me that the void possessed it. And I was absolutely terrified. And well, that's my story. Yep, all of this was true. That's amazing! What a good story, you useless whip. Okay, Whip, so why do you keep calling us Whips even though you're our friend? Okay, whatever. Cause you guys are, not in a bad way, you're a good Whip. Unlike that Remy. Ugh, hate him. Yeah, Remy's very annoying. Agreed, Spiky. So yeah, that's my story. Very interesting. So that's why you went missing. Yep, but it's all in the past. And here's my ability. Because of telling that story, I'm probably not going to be forgetting this ability as much. But yeah, it's a shame you can only use it once a day and only for like 5 seconds. Yeah, it could still be helpful though. And that's how Perminat was brought into High's facility. So that's the story. That was the story of Perminat.